Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the Akim who are tuning to these videos. In this video, I wanted to briefly speak about this topic that had happened yesterday in Minneapolis, Minnesota. There was a school shooting, supposed, at a Catholic church during the time where they were holding Mass. And so just from Google searching this, I'm just going to read the titles of these articles. It says, Minneapolis school shooting, what we know. How the absolutely incomprehensible shooting unfolded at Annunciation Catholic School. Victims of Minneapolis shooting, ages 8 and 10, identified. And you see the pictures of the two Edomite kids. It says, girl shot in head at Minneapolis, asked by bystanders, please just hold my hand. So all these things is very sad, supposed, where they're trying to pull their heartstrings. Now, I don't know fully if this is a real situation or not, because when you watch these certain things happen and unfold in the news, you start to see certain inconsistent things that start make you question the narrative that Esau Edom is trying to push. But regardless of that notion, the fact that this is happening on the news constantly, mind you, like I remember back in the 90s when they had the one in Colorado, where they had those two kids in a trench coat and they shot up the school. And it's just been back-to-back school shootings ever since. And it's really the society that is ran by Esau Edom is pushing that vibration of death and destruction, where it's a point where you can't have your kids just go to school because you have the fear of an Edomite going postal. And the going postal is literally because of a post office worker who lost it one day and went to his work and shot up the place. And this is going to be a running thing that's going to keep happening with these Edomites. That's why we have to take them out of power once Yahweh Shai returns. And so with these articles and all these things that are happening, when we read the scriptures, we know very well who we're dealing with, the Edomite that the scriptures are speaking about. And so all these details and all the articles that are going to come out, it's only going to point to this devil being revealed in these last times, and especially during Jacob's trouble. If you think that these Edomites are going to be kind and humble during that time, well, you better think again, because that's the time where Esau Edom is going to crouch humbly, and you're going to trust him, and then no one's going to pity you when you've been bit by a snake. Because when we're out there on the highways and hedges, we are speaking about Esau Edom. We're prophesying against Mount Seir and revealing him through the Spirit. And so I'll go ahead and start this in 2 Thessalonians. It says in 2 Thessalonians 2, and I'll start it at verse 6. It says, and now ye know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. So the mystery of iniquity is Esau Edom. And we're right here, while we're in America, which is known as Mystery Babylon in the scriptures, you could see how he runs a society. When the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. But when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. So we're not in a time of rejoicing. We're not in the time of the Israelites being in rulership. We're still in Esau Edom's rulership. And the people are mourning. The world is mourning. It's not just the people, it's the trees and the animals. And it's just everything that this devil does is backwards. It's profane and evil. So right now, when you're reading this in 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8, is going into today's times. Well, the spirit of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai is prophesying against this devil. Yahweh Shai has his men down here preaching in his name, and they're going to constantly bring out all the things that this devil is up to. Whether it's school shootings or false school shootings, that's still a vibration that this devil is pushing out. And so I'm going to continue on verse 8. It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. Because when we're speaking in the names of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, we are prophesying on his behalf. And he is revealing this devil through our words, it's coming from him, from Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. When we're speaking, you're hearing him. And so he is consuming this place with the spirit of his mouth. With all these words, it's now showing us righteousness and what wickedness is. This devil, Esau, Edom. Because you leave this devil alone, he's going to destroy the world. He's going to shoot up a school or pollute the water and the world. So this devil is being revealed by the spirit and the prophesying of the prophets down here, who are representative of Yahweh and Yahushai. So I'm going to read from verse 8 again. It says, "And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming." And he's going to be destroyed, because once Yahushai returns, he cracks those clouds. There ain't going to be no Edomite free or in a power seat. They're all going to be put down and brought to the ground and put into chattel slavery. Because like I was just quoting, like in Matthew 24, if this devil was given more time to rule, there would be no flesh to save. This devil is literally hell-bent on destroying everything and everyone, including himself. I'm going to continue on verse 9. It says, "Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders." And this is more so going into his ability to deceive many with that MOTB, with his vain philosophies. Really, this is just Rome and Greece all over again, with all that disgusting stuff that they were happening in the past over there in the Greco-Roman times. It is now in these times, but cranked up to 100. So this devil is being revealed, and this word of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai is casting down strongholds. So I'm going to read these other precepts, because, with all I get understanding. This is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You don't want to be caught in the midst of chaos and have an Edomite to your left or your right. They're going to backstab you whenever the chance presents itself. And that right there is basically a curse and a judgment. Because here we are out there on the highways and hedges, still teaching our people, yet a lot of the 2/3 of the nation of Israel will defend an Edomite when it comes to the scriptures. That's why a lot of people don't want to come up to this ministry and take notes or actually adhere to what we're saying, because it's either they have an Edomite mom or an Edomite best friend, Edomite co-worker, or whatever it is. Well, just wait until Jacob's trouble happens. If you haven't seen his true colors, you're going to see it when the pressure starts to rise. And this is in Psalms 17 and 13. It reads, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." And Esau, Edom, he's putting a snare in front of us, but he's going to be the one that's going to fall in it. So in this psalm, we're singing praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai to disappoint the one who's doing these things, who's basically just putting a whole bunch of wickedness out here so that the nation of Israel can be at fault. Well, he is the accuser of thy brethren. And so with that, he has that ability to basically just go and slay the world, slay whoever adheres to whatever vain philosophy he has to offer or whatever. But as I'm going to read from the top again, it's verse 13. It says, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." So we are asking to be delivered out of the hands of our captors, which are the Edomites, which is the sword of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. Because if you're not going to be on this side with us on the straight and narrow, you're basically out there caught without a covering cast, a covering of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, I should say. And Esau Edom is going to slay and kill, because this is all filing into prophecy. If you're not sighing and crying for the abominations that this Edomite is doing, then you're gonna be out here without a covering. Whereas we are gonna have that the mark of exemption, because we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. And so when the times of Jacob's trouble happen and they arise, this devil is gonna come down with great wrath. That's why when I read in Psalm 17 and 13, this devil is basically Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai's sword for all of the 2/3 who disobeyed his message. So this is in Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And so this is a person with a short temper, and he's just willing to go to a school and shoot it up and do a whole bunch of things. This guy is literally depicted as the devil that the Bible speaks of, as a person that you don't want to be next to, especially in the times of famine, in the times of sorrow, in the times of war, which we're literally about to get into. So I'm going to read some more precepts going into the characteristics of Esau, Edom. This is in Habakkuk 2, and I'm going to start at verse 4. It says, Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. So this is speaking about Esau, Edom. His soul is not upright. He is literally meant to be made as an adversary. If he tries to do something good, it's only to benefit himself and to further his wickedness. Scripture says that he can't go to sleep lest he does wickedness. So I'm going to continue on. Verse 5, it says, Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who entangleth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And he transgresseth by wine, both by that of the physical wine and of the philosophical wine, because this devil is anything and everything but the scriptures. Yeah, he knows what the scriptures are. He knows about the law, statutes, and commandments, yet he casts them aside. And so that's just one of the many reasons why he's going to be put out in the manner that he's going to be put out. All right, so I'm going to read last precept I have here. This is in Micah 2, and I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And right now, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And he's able to just do all these wicked things, these heinous acts, and push that wicked sodomite vibration onto the world. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. Therefore, the nations are mad. And so, kind of like a precept into this Psalm 17 and 13, this devil is basically trying to put a snare in front of us. So that's why we're praying to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai to disappoint him, so that whatever tactic that he has up his sleeve doesn't happen, and it doesn't work on us, because we're standing stiffly for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So we want him to protect us in the time of need. So going into back in Micah 2 and verse 2, this is going into the details of this guy. If not, where and who is he? This is literally speaking about the Edomite that, mind you, is trying to go into another country and send his troops over there in South America. It is just the same tactic, same MO. So I'm going to read from verse 2. It says, And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. So he's going to go and oppress people, covet the fields, take them by violence, and also oppress one's heritage. Because it's not enough that he just goes and takes the land and the resources there. He also manipulates the minds of whoever inhabits those lands. So he basically destroys their heritage by doing so. Like, you go to any country, whether it's, well, Hawaii is not a country, but they had a structure before Esau Edom went to Hawaii, and then they enveloped them into the United States. And now they vote. Now they have to adhere to Edomite doctrine and law. But another one, if you go to Japan, same thing. You basically got to vote to whoever wants to be the prime minister there. Go to certain places in Africa. You can see the Edomite supremacy that has been pushed out to the four corners of the earth. So I'm going to continue on in verse 3. It says, Therefore, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Behold, against this family do I devise an evil from which they shall not remove your necks. Neither shall ye go haughtily, for this time is evil. And so these devils are not going to be able to escape. Yeah, some of them will go into these bunkers that are trillions of dollars in value that are going to protect them in the times of Yahweh Shai's return, but they're only being preserved for slavery. The Heavenly Father has got a big thing for Esau Edom in the kingdom, and it's not going to be to live in it. So with that, I hope this video is edifying. Just keep watch of these Edomites, because if not, they're going to go shoot places up. They're going to sell drugs. They're going to covet fields and take them by violence and push their wicked ideologies onto the ones around them. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, Shalom Akim.